I want to engage. I want to learn from people who have been there. I want to learn from people who are doing it, and I can see that they're successful. Success is relative, but at least there is something that I can see they're doing. So I knew different organizations that are offering this kind of support, and there's nothing wrong. But then what appealed to me is, at that point, Centonomy started doing this blast. I am not the CEO. You know who said that, right? I am not the CEO. And I was like, woman, you are bold. And what have you done to step away and to allow the organization to grow? And that really drew me closer. And I said, I would really like to engage with Centonomy again. Yeah? So I came in. Now, the first class, when I came, I remember Washaka was taking us through. And she said, I can't remember how many seconds it was, but it was that turn to someone. Was it 15 seconds or 30 seconds? It was how many seconds? 30 seconds. Introduce yourself to somebody, tell them what you do, have a chat, then 30 seconds done, move to the next one. 30 seconds done, move to the next one. By the third person, I asked myself, what is that I'm saying again? You know. So by the fourth person, I was starting to not change, because I was actually saying the right thing, but it's about the narrative. Yeah, you'd think I'm a marketer, and also you'd think I know how to frame it, but you know it's always about continuous improvement, right? So from that, I was like, okay, that's good. Then we fast forward, we go, and is it Sheba who took us to about fear? Yeah, and for the record, by Dhaka, I'm stealing that whole model, because thank you, because it works. And the question was, what are you scared about? What is the fear that you have? And you know, you write it, but it was from spiders as a lady to going broke, right? Yeah. And the question was, if all that happened, what would happen to you? Then what would you still remain with? And out of what remains, what would you do? And for me, that was like, okay, even if the classes stop right here, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay to continue. But then we continued. For me, the first couple of sessions were very foundational. Yeah, because the question was, remember the entrepreneurial vehicle? Yeah, and I hope I get this right. I think there's something about your fuel. What is your fuel, right? Why are you doing what you're doing? What irritates you? What is that thing that just makes you uncomfortable? And for me, I realized, oh my goodness, it is just that lack of alignment in what business development is doing, to what marketing is doing, to what client experience is doing. And just seeing that at times, even the people in there, they're not able to have those conversations with the board. They're not able to have conversations with the top leadership. And most of the time, they're on the expense side of the P&L. Right? It's hard for you to articulate your value and even to develop to talk about that value proposition that your organization is taking forward. So I was like, okay, for me, those are the things that really jabbed me. I'm like, okay, can I help you? Can I just help you about this? But then I was like, but what's the bigger, relating it to the last class? Why, and why? Yeah? By the time I reached the third or fourth level of why, I realized my why is growth. Yeah, it's about growth of organization. It's about growth of people. It's about growth of skills. So in that entrepreneurial vehicle, as we proceeded, I think the next was about the engine. I hope I'm getting it right. And what is that product? What is that service? What are you taking out to the market? And I stood back and I said, because I have worked in different organizations, yeah, right from financial services, from banking, to professional service firms, my focus was kind of narrow, yeah, because there are other professional services. You are in professional service, for example. The accountants, the actuaries, the lawyers, the engineers, most of the times they are so good technically, right? But in terms of their market engagement, they do what they know best, but it kind of has a cap right there. And I was like, for me, I was very passionate about that, because it is even against the law for some of them to even advertise. Even the doctors and all, right? It's against the law, but how can they go out to the market? So I ended up, and it's true, it's a niche for me, and I understand it because I worked there, and yeah, I really like those kind of conversations, and I like convincing those people that this is the value that you're able to get. But then I realized, hey, you know what? Instead of being that very narrow, you can still tweak this. There is a broader market for that, yeah? The banks also need this. There are also other organizations that still need it. So am I able to tweak this a little bit? So I realized, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not saying don't focus, but just have it in a way that you're able to customize it for different markets. The other thing is I realized, and asking around, including my +1 here today, the question was, okay, I've always wanted to train. For me, some of my highs, I can do this. Let's break for lunch, come back, do it tomorrow. I'll come and do this again. Just this collaboration that I'm having with you guys. And that just, I feel inspired, re-energized and all. So I was like, why aren't I doing this? I end up doing it for my clients without even, I haven't packaged it. You almost just give, you do it as a BAU, just a business as usual. And I was like, why aren't I sitting down and just packaging it? And it can supplement what I'm doing. Actually, it can be a standalone. Yeah, it can be a standalone of some of the services that I'm doing. So from that foundational part of the course that we are doing, it really made me think about what I'm doing. It really made me think about what I'm passionate about, how I'm engaging with organizations. Even if it is my former employer, even if I'm to go there, what would I say I'm going to do for them? Because you need to be able to customize some of the solutions that you have. So that bit of it was foundational. And there's so many other things that we learned about. Then we went into the more technical bits of it. And I hope that this was intentional. That was my interpretation of the whole course, the way it was structured. And that for me, I was telling Martin as we were driving in today, there was, at the gate when I met him, and we were talking about this course, and I said, I don't know where I would have met some of these people that I got to meet. Yeah? I don't even think I would afford them for 1 hour. Yeah? For 1 hour of their time. Because they are so experienced. Yeah? And just sitting down, it wasn't theoretical. My best times were because they came and they told us about their failures. They told us where they did it and did it well. They told us, oh, when we began, this is where we were at. We got some shareholders who came in a short while. They had to leave. We had to get loans. Then we had to do this and the other. And I was like, okay, truly this is what I needed to hear. Now, did I immediately start changing things? At some point, it gave me structure. Some things I had done. Back to, I can't remember at what point, but I think we did the business model canvas. I had done it, but being that we held conversation and heard about how someone else had done it, I went back and redid all of it again because I'm thinking you had missed this and this and that. So what I'm saying is that it is not that some things were brand new, but what was new was listening to people and how they are able to articulate it. Some things I really did not know, to be honest. For me, they were really ecstatic, those classes, because you really get to think. I beat myself a lot because we as entrepreneurs, we as people, and even if you're coming from corporate, even if it is your side hustle, and then you're thinking, I have some money that I want to inject. Half the time, at least I did not sit back to think, what return is it giving me as an individual? Yeah, for me that was really a value add because you just push it in, you're not thinking that this is the same way someone would give me money to return at a certain point in time. So every class that we've gone through, there has been a takeout for me. Have I applied all of them? No, but I hope that I'd be able to come back, as she said, as Kalecha said, that I'd be able to come back later at some point and say that this is what we do, this is what we have done, this is what we have co-opted, and things are looking different. We've been able to reach more people, we've been able to help more organizations, and for us is that they have grown. Yeah, eventually we want to see them grow and also want to see professionals more empowered, and that they are able to have, we say, you're able to earn a seat at the table, you're just not part of the menu. That is what I am hoping to help marketers do. You're just not part of the menu of many options. So it has been great being here. And as I was thinking about it, remember those letters that we wrote? To be honest, yes, I picked mine, but I read it yesterday evening, yeah? And I think I read it like 5 times. Because it was Wanjeri at 90. Was it 90 or 80? 90. Yeah, Wanjeri at 90 speaking to Wanjeri at X years. Yeah, and I was just like, wow. I think I need to type it out and keep it well, because I was like, okay, fine, girl, you're on to something. Just hang in there, because truly, then it justifies a lot of things that I'm doing, and it also justifies why my focus in employment was 1, 2, 3, because it was still on the areas of growth that I'm talking about. Yeah, so at the end of the day, my file is not a shelf document. My file is a live document. Because, and you'll agree with me, like the first 3, 4 classes, the assignments were major. They were a lot. If you're like me, you tend to do it maybe the Friday before. You end up sleeping at something a.m. because you're like, this is so much work. But I don't think it was just for that assignment then. It is so that it can be an ongoing. It can be ongoing and we can be able to look at it, review and review. So we have a lot of material and we have a lot of tools that is able to take us into the future. And it has been great meeting a lot of people and just hearing about the different experiences.